What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for NFL Week 6 Millionaire Maker.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
Okay guys, this is for the Millionaire Maker slate, which is the Sunday main slate at 1 p.m. Oh, and stick around to the very end of this video. After I show you all my picks in the Draft Dashboard tools, I'll show you these players in DraftKings and in FanDuel, the Millionaire Maker slates. There'll be 2 spots open that you have to fill in, but you'll have a great Millionaire Maker core. Okay guys, NFL Week 6. Let's take a look at the quarterback position. So I'm going to save some salary at the quarterback position and go with a guy who's got some pretty big upside in a high-scoring game, in a fantastic matchup, in a game that should be a passing game script. My Millionaire Maker quarterback is Taylor Heinicke from the Washington football team playing the Kansas City Chiefs, who have the worst defense overall, and they give up the absolute most fantasy points to opposing quarterbacks. Taylor Heinicke, he's averaging 19.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 5 rush attempts per game. He's going to be about 10% owned, projected at 18.7 fantasy points here in Week 6. I think he can score 20 plus fantasy points in this one. He's only $5,800 DraftKings salary, $1,500 more on FanDuel, and Vegas thinks there's going to be 55 points scored in this game, with the Washington football team trailing by 7. So high scoring game, great matchup, passing game script, and this guy is getting you at least 5 rush attempts per game, so a solid rushing floor. Big upside. He scored 28 fantasy points a couple weeks ago. So I like Taylor Heinicke here versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching.
If you want to enter the drawing for $25 PayPal,
All you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won.
and we'll send you $25 PayPal.
So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Okay, let's take a look at the running back position. My Millionaire Maker running back is Darrell Henderson Jr. from the LA Rams playing the New York Giants, who have the 5th worst defense overall, and they give up the 8th most fantasy points to opposing running backs. Darrell Henderson Jr. has averaged 16.6 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 15 rush attempts per game and 3.3 pass targets per game. He's been on the field for 78% of the snaps. He's going to be about 17% owned, projected at 15.5 fantasy points here in Week 6. He's $6,000 DraftKings salary, $1,300 more on FanDuel. Vegas thinks there's going to be 47.5 points scored in this game, with the Rams favored by 10.5. So you got a fantastic matchup in a running game script. So I like Darrell Henderson Jr. here versus the New York Giants. Okay, let's take a look at the wide receiver position. Now I'm going to save a ton of salary here at this position. My Millionaire Maker wide receiver is Mecole Hardman from the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Washington football team, who have the 2nd worst defense overall, and they give up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. Mecole Hardman has averaged 10.1 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 6 pass targets per game. He's on the field for 66% of the snaps. He's going to be about 10% owned, projected at 10.3 fantasy points here in Week 6. But I like this pick because he's only $4,200 DraftKings salary, $1,300 more on FanDuel, and he's playing in a super high scoring game where Vegas thinks there's going to be 55 points scored in this one, with the Kansas City Chiefs favored by 7. So this isn't a blowout game. This game should be within a touchdown, so Mecole Hardman should get plenty of targets. He had 12 targets last week, scored 17 fantasy points. I think he's just way too cheap for this matchup and this high-scoring game. So I like Mecole Hardman here versus the Washington football team.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all the tools for NFL. NBA is right around the corner. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, moving on to the tight end position. Let's save some more salary with this pick. My millionaire maker tight end is Ricky Seals-Jones from the Washington football team playing the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're stacking up on this game a little bit because we know the Chiefs have the worst defense overall and they give up the 4th most fantasy points to opposing tight ends. Ricky Seals-Jones, he's averaging 4.4 fantasy points per game on the season, getting an average of 2.6 pass targets per game. But take a look at his last 2 weeks. He scored 9 fantasy points last week off of 8 pass targets, and the week before that, 4 fantasy points off of 4 pass targets. So I like to see that increased volume. He's going to be about 15% owned, projected at 7.3 fantasy points here in week 6, and he's only $3,000 DraftKings salary and $2,000 more on FanDuel. So we know Vegas thinks there's going to be 55 points scored in this game, with the Washington football team trailing by 7. So I think this is a good spot to stack Ricky Seals-Jones with Taylor Heineke, and you're going to save a bunch of salary with these 2 picks. So you're going to have a ton of salary left over in the rest of your lineup, and these guys got big upside in a passing game script in a high-scoring game. Fantastic matchup. So I like Ricky Seals-Jones here versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. You've unlocked the bonus content.
Okay guys, here we are in the DraftKings lineup optimizer. Over here on Draft Dashboard, we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here, and we've generated a lineup. So let's see who we got. We got Taylor Heineke, Darrell Henderson Jr., Austin Eckler, Marquise Brown, Brandon Cooks, Mecole Hardman, Ricky Seals-Jones, Davante Adams, and the Texans defense. So I like this lineup a lot. Let's take a look at Brandon Cooks. Even though I like this pick, look at this. We could put Amari Cooper in here if we wanted. I think I like that a little bit better, but I think both of those plays are pretty good. So let's save this lineup so we can optimize it later if anything changes. Okay, now here we are in the FanDuel lineup optimizer. Over here on Draft Dashboard, we have our Millionaire Maker core locked in here. We've generated a lineup, so let's see who we got. We got Taylor Heineke, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, Terry McLaurin, Davante Adams, Mecole Hardman, Ricky Seals-Jones, Darrell Henderson Jr., and the Bengals defense. So this is a pretty awesome lineup here. We had Davante Adams in the other lineup. We could keep him in this lineup, Or we could save some salary here and go to a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. And now let's see if we could upgrade our running back, Jonathan Taylor. We could go up to Ezekiel Elliott or Nick Chubb. Or we go Aaron Jones from the Green Bay Packers. So let's go like this. We got Taylor Heineke, Aaron Jones, Joe Mixon, Terry McLaurin, DeAndre Hopkins, Mecole Hardman, Ricky Seals-Jones, Darrell Henderson Jr., and the Bengals defense. So we got the double stack here with our quarterback, Terry McLaurin. He's got a fantastic cornerback matchup in this game. So I think it makes a lot of sense to stack Terry McLaurin with Taylor Heineke in a high-scoring game, in a game they should have to pass the ball a ton to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs. And then you got Ricky Seals-Jones for a little salary relief at the tight end position. Hope he can get into the end zone and pay off his price tag. And if Taylor Heineke can throw touchdowns to Terry McLaurin and Ricky Seals-Jones, you're going to be in a good spot with the rest of your lineup. So if you want to go off DeAndre Hopkins, you got the options to go with Mike Williams from the LA Chargers, which I think might actually be a little bit better here. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game between the Chargers and the Ravens. Mike Williams, he's been doing really well this season. So a lot of options here, guys. You can use the drop-down menu, easily change your position, and you can see what players you can select based on how much salary you have. So I like this lineup. Let's save it so we can optimize it later if anything changes.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NFL slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.